Hi, Wayne Hussey here. In this video, we will be going over how to synchronize our database schemas between our database and our IronSpeed application. First off, let's take a look at a sample application that I have created. As you can see, we have a description column, an on-call column, and email column. Now let's say we want to add a couple of fields to the right of this page, and those columns would be created by and created date time possibly. So to start with, let's take a quick look at the IronSpeed application that we have. And as we can see a description, on call, and email columns. In the fields of our toolbox, we don't see anything for created by, so we know that we're going to have to go to our database and create a column called created by. So let's open up, in my example that I'm using, SQL Express 2005, and I'm using this PDF table here. Let's go to Design, and let's add a column called Created By, and we'll make it a varchar. And let's close it, save our changes. Now let's go to our application. And as you can see, IronSpeed doesn't know that we just created a column in our PDF table. Now that we've done all this, you may be asking to yourself, okay, that's easy enough, but I don't see any way of using this new field in my IronSpeed application. You would be correct in your assumption. IronSpeed has no idea that there have been changes to the schema. So we now need to tell IronSpeed that there have been some changes to our database. If we go up to our Databases tab, we can see three options here. Synchronize database schema. If we use this option, IronSpeed will go out to our database and synchronize our schema to the database schema, and everything will be in sync quickly. Later on, I'll show you this example. Second option is use synchronize database schema scan only. Now what that is going to do is IronSpeed's going to go out, look at the database, and see if there's any changes. If there are, it'll show us that what the changes are that are different. Then we'll have to make one more step and accept the changes that IronSpeed saw. So for right now, let's just go in and synchronize database schema scan only. As you can see, IronSpeed went out to our database, saw that the PDF table had changed. So let's close this. And then if we look inside of IronSpeed is also showing that that table schema has changed in our database. And it's showing that it sees that there's this created by column that has been added to the database that we don't have in IronSpeed. So let's finish this up and go back up to our databases and accept the changes. Now our schemas are in sync between IronSpeed application and the database. Let's go to our application page that we were looking at that we wanted to add, and we see in the Fields tab we now have a created by, and in our labels we have a created by labels. So let's add that to our application now. So I'm just going to insert a new column to the right, and I'm going to grab this label created by and put it there. Then I'm going to go to the fields and I'm going to add the created by field. So let's take a look at the properties of the created by label. Just make sure they're right the way that we want them. And as I see here, it's showing it going to be a hyperlink, and I actually just want it to be a label. So I'll change that, and then let's look at the properties on the other created by. And it's showing it as a literal, which is what I want it to do. So we'll say OK. Now let's run our application and see what we have. Okay, the application's been built, and as you can see, we now have a created by column. So let's do one other and choose the other option, the synchronize, the first option in our database, the synchronize the database schema. So let's go back to our SQL Server and go into design. Let's add a created date time. And we'll make that a date time field. And we'll close it out, accept our changes to our database. As you can see, the new column from the database hasn't been created, so now let's choose the top option, Synchronize Database Schemas, so that we can see the difference. As you can see, it's saying to press OK to accept all the new changes. It saw the changes, it refreshes the schema, and everything is done. We close it, go back to our table, and we see our created date time, and we can add the created date time the same way we did the created by. I hope this video was helpful. Please check out all our videos, as you'll find that we are adding new content all the time. This is Wayne Hussey, MVP. Thank you for watching.